Double tap to enter full screen mode. Nice. Thank you.
You guys can
All
see,
good.
right?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It's not in a presentation mode yet, so you can shift
Yeah,
it.
I'm still trying to. Okay.
Nice. Proceed.
All right. Okay. Once again, everybody, welcome to this session. My name is Samuel, so I'm going to take you through this session today. I'm just going to start this way. This session is not going to be like maybe going to I'll be the one only to speak, but it's going to be kind of interactive. So I will ask a question and you will have to answer me. So if you have never spoken since the day we started this fellowship, so it's your high chance today to at least say something today in this session. So it's going to be more interactive and practical aspect of it, and also reflectory into your life as we continue with this session. So once again, thank you. I'm just going to kick off this way. I'm going to start with a story, okay? I just wanted to pay attention. Just lend me your ears for a moment. Like if you're gonna be attentive to this session, I think you are not going to have a lot of questions later after this presentation. So the story goes, there was a young man, okay, here, of course, in South Sudan. So he's a student, just like many of us, okay? So he has a lot of, like full of dreams, full of hope, okay? He believes that one day, like after he finishes school, right? So he will get a better job, and his life will change. And finally, that day came, okay? Like after, the dream, after school, graduate, so he got his first income, like he got a job. Maybe not a big, like, maybe not a big job, maybe for him to earn a big salary, but at least to him, it was everything, okay? Now, for the first time in his life, okay, he had money, like he has money to hold at least in his hand, okay? So he started spending now, helping friends, buying stuffs already that he could not afford back in the days, enjoying life. Like life was a little bit more enjoyable now to him at that time. So every time he told himself, I will save next time, like maybe after the next month, like when he received his salary. So he'll be like, next month I will save. But the next time never came. Okay. So at the end of every month, his money just like finished. Like it will not even reach the end of the month. Everything just finished within the month before even reaching the other month. So then one day something happened. Okay, in this life things are unpredictable. Things can just happen, and his younger brother needed school fees. And also his mother got sick. Now that's where the burden comes, right? Like it feels that way now. The responsibility fell on him, of course, right? Uh, so he was alarmed, like what to do now, because he had finished his salary before even the month end, and now he had to take care of his brother's school fees and also his mother who's sick. So he went ahead to check his mobile phone, I don't know, maybe Momo. So nothing was there. Everything is empty. Then he went to check also. He's saving, nothing. Everything is nil. Also to check on others, there was nothing really to back up what he has already been facing. Then at that moment, reality now hits him very well. Okay. Now he had to think of better way for him to, cover up this now. So, I don't know about him, but I know this is a very moment now people begin to panic. It's where now people will feel like it's stress and pressured, you understand? So now he had to go and borrow, okay? He borrowed, also call his friends, ask for help, you know? Like inside, he felt something heavy, okay? He felt stressed, he felt pressured, and even embarrassment. Why embarrassment? He was earning. His family knows he's working, yeah, he always receives salary, right? So, but it's this moment now he cannot handle anything. Like the pressure is already increasing, you know? Then that night, okay, he couldn't sleep. He asked himself, like a question many of us have asked. I know many of us have asked this question. Why is it that I work hard, but I still struggle with money? That's the question he asked himself. You know, it's a very moment I know when we are asleep over the night, where now you begin to sleep over the things that you've been facing, you know, begin to reason about life, how things really are going, you know. So that's the first question he asked himself. Why is it that I worked hard? I really work hard, but still I struggle with money. Okay. And slowly he realized something powerful, okay? He realized something in him because it's the very moment you begin to talk to yourself, you begin to talk to your mind, and then he found out that the problem was not this country, was not the instability of this country. Okay. He also found out that it wasn't his salary. But what now? What's the problem exactly? The problem was how he was managing his money. Okay. Now let me ask you a question, honestly, okay? This is where now we're going to talk. Let me ask you honestly. How many of us here are still waiting for the next time to save right now here? Like, have you ever thought, like, if you're working right now, have you ever thought of maybe you're going to save, like, maybe next week, maybe after your salary, you're going to save some money? And also, how many of us believe when I get a job, everything will be okay? How better mindset we all have, right? Before getting a job. Now, I want somebody to say something on these two questions. Like, have you ever thought of next time to save? And have you ever thought of when, like, did you have that belief that if you get a job, that's when everything will be okay? You can just, yeah, Tariq, please. I can see your hand. You can proceed.
Yeah, actually, I have that thought of saving. I'm currently working, right? And once I receive my salary, I squandered them because of problems here and there. Then when the other month comes with the thought in mind that I will save, it also ended up the same way. So
Exactly.
this one has smacked me on the face, and it's really challenging. So I'm quite glad that this is being discussed. I think I'll pick more from this discussion as per today.
Thank you. Thank you, Tariq. Is there another hand, please, before I proceed? Okay, if that's okay. You know, Tariq really put it clearly. You know, like we all experience this before or now. And if you're going to get job Monday, you're going to face same scenario Tariq have faced or is facing still. Okay. But I'm telling you, like, let me tell you the truth. Okay. A job alone will not solve your financial problems. You heard me right. Job alone will not solve your financial problems. But what would solve your financial problems? Speak with me clearly. How you think about money. That's the first thing. How you use your money. And the decision you make every day. Those are the key points that will solve your problem. It doesn't matter how much you will save per month. You could save billions. But if you don't consider this, if you don't sit down to yourself, if you don't think on how you're going to use your money, if you don't think about your money, if you don't make decision before you apply, before you use them, you will definitely face this scenario. So today, we're not just learning about money. I'm going to make this clear. Okay? We're not going to learn about money, but we are learning how to change our story. I'm sure we are all facing this. Okay? We're all facing this. So today, that one day, when responsibility comes, when life tests you, these are the things that we are, because you have a clue, you're already aware on what is already in the past. You're not going to struggle. You are not going to borrow, of which I really hate in my life, borrowing, and you are going to be prepared for any challenge that will come if you're going to pay attention to this session. So now let's begin, okay? I just want to give you some highlights here, okay? So these are the main things that we're going to learn today. The learning objectives that we are going to tackle through this session. And part of it's going to be practical. So I'm going to make sure that I finish within 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I will leave the 20 minutes for the practical aspect, and also 10 maybe for Q&A. So the learning objective of this session today, you're going to understand financial intelligence in depth, and also how to develop a wealth mindset. You know, before when I asked, how many of you think that when they're going to get a job one day, everything will be okay? That's a mindset. You're going to also apply budgeting and saving systems. Through this session, you're also going to plan an emergency fund. And you're going to know why emergency fund is important. And when do we apply it? When do we use that fund we kept for emergencies? Also, throughout this session, we are going to practice financial discipline. Not only that, I'm going to also demonstrate some basic salary negotiation, okay? Many of us, we tend to find job like the first time for you, they offer you a job, you don't consider how much you're going to give. You don't value you have that you could bring to that institution or company, understand? But you're going to go throughout that. We're also going to explore income stream, side hustle. Okay, the ways that we could try that can make our finances can add up to what we already have. We're also going to learn make informed financial decision. You're also going to make a decision. And lastly, but not the least, we're going to create a personal financial action plan. So this is basically the learning objectives of this session. And like I said, you're going to, as we continue with this session, you're going to keep asking yourself questions that you will find answers for yourself. Put yourself in every situation that you're going to tackle if you want to get this session clearly. Now, let's dive into it. Okay, I'm just going to give you this icebreakers question. Okay. I just want you to take a moment right now. Just answer this yourself. Why do some people earn a lot but stay broke? Is that possible? Have you ever seen such people? Have you ever experienced what I'm asking right now? If you stop working today, how long would your money last? Just like that other guy you heard from the story. Like before the end of the month, even the middle of the month, everything gets paid off. Why do people with higher income still struggle? These are just icebreaker questions. I just want you to think through them as we continue. Because today we're going to learn how you can really manage your finances, how you can have a good decision about what you have already on board. not what you don't have, because you can't plan. You can't manage what you don't have. You know, sometimes we have people like they earn salary, but still what? They're still broke before the month end. Prior to that, we also have people that earn less, but still they grow wealthy. They could still manage the expenses. They could still manage their bills. Anything that comes, they easily manage it. I'm going to tell you clearly, this session, it will really help you if you apply this right now as we continue with this session. So it's not how much you earn, it's not how much you receive monthly, okay? That's an insight key that you should know. It's how much you think, right, deeply. How do you handle your finances? And how can you make your income grow? How can you make more money from what you have? Most people don't fail today financially, okay? I want to tell you this. Because they earn little, okay? That's not the reason why people fail financially. But what? Because they manage their money poorly. Just that. So how can you make that? Now, let's dive into the main agenda of this session. We have financial intelligence. How can you handle it? Through what? Thinking, right? Think deeply. So more like ability, okay? The ability for you to understand your think, for you to manage and handle and make your money grow effectively. That's a simple term that I can give. You can define it in your own words. But the aspect of it, ability, how your brain works, how do you understand your finances? So just shortly, how do you think about money? Let me put it that way. How do you put your money? How do you think about your money that you earn monthly? Maybe you hustle. Some of us maybe don't have jobs that they earn salary. You could have a side hustle. You could have like you're an entrepreneur. Right? How do you handle? You handle it. Your wages. Then let me say that. So financial intelligence will help you to budget and save. How do you go about your money when you receive the monthly? You just go to the market, buy stuff, shopping, like do you jot them down? Do you put them down, like list them before you go to market or before you spend your money that you earn? Do you put something aside monthly that could maybe help you in the near future? Do you do that? Well, that's all about financial intelligence. Financial intelligence can also help you make informed financial decisions. The word clear, I like this word, informed. You're already aware of the situation. Now it's you to make up to decide. Like critically, like thinking. Because when you talk about decision, it will need you to think critically. So if you are aware of financial intelligence, if you are intelligent, you also make sure you will always manage your risk and opportunities. So it's not just about earning money, right? Yeah, we talked of finances. Yeah, but how wisely money is used and multiplied. See that context now. How do you use it? How do you spend it? Not only that, also how can you make what you have also multiply to be productive? That's the mindset I want you to have. Let's also analyze wealth foundation. Wealth, right? I know most of us in our childhood, we dream, right? Everyone, like sometimes we feel like fantasy, you know. It would be like when I study, when I go to school, you know, I'll get a job, I have this great mansion, I'll marry, a lot of stuff. Like you want to see yourself in the next future, wealthy, billionaire, right? But how do you go about that? Do you think just those who are billionaire right now, if you ask them, they would tell you just, one thing is snap of a finger and then everything appeared from nowhere. That's not it. They went through ways for them to reach that level. So that's why I want to break this word down to you. We're foundation. The foundation, it's a core principle, right? Habits that support a long-term financial stability and growth. When we talk of a long time, we all have like things that we really wish to achieve one day, like achievements. You want to be a wealthy person. How do you handle that from now? So that's why you are going to set some principle. You will need habits that will support that, make that happen. So just a quick one, okay? Maybe for you to remember about wealth foundation. Like simply just how to build and sustain wealth. How do you build it? Ask the architect. Okay. Let's go with levels.
We've lost you for a moment, Samuel.
Okay. Let me get back. Am I there?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have a strong financial discipline, you have consistent saving, multiple income streams, smart decision making. It's just a block for you to build up, for you to start from somewhere. We're going to look into financial discipline in depth later. And also saving. So it's going to be a habit for us. Like Tariq said earlier, like things just keep adding up, problems keeps coming, and we'll be like, yeah, next time I will say, maybe after this one, I will say. But I'm going to also work it through, finding handle that. That's going to look like into income streams. How do you make, like, which ways should you use for you to multiply your income? Only not depends on what you earn monthly, like your salary. Like, you should not only depend on that. Also going to dive deeper later. How do you go about making a proper decision? So just in short, wealth foundation, these are just building blocks, okay, of financial success. If you want to succeed, if you want to make it in life, if you want to be a billionaire, it's for you to work on that foundation from now. So just a quick question. We're going to have some question here. Okay. Wealth mindset. Like when I start this session, I was like, we all have that kind of, things that block us. They feel like limiting beliefs, right? We covered that. Like this session probably covers most of the session we've gone through. It correlates to most of the session we covered. Just a question. Just one person or two answered it. What belief about money might be limiting you right now? Have you ever thought of anything that limiting you? Is there any hand? Like I said, if you have never spoken, you're going to speak today. Just feel free. We're interacting, we're all learning. Did you have that belief about money? Tell me, what is it? Or what was it? Did you hear people talk about evil? Money is evil? Did you hear or did you think of money is hard to get?
Teresa's hands are up, so
Okay, I don't see them, so please, yeah.
Teresa, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Brenda, and hi, Sam. I think mine, I would probably say now it's more of like it was a previous belief, or which
Okay.
is something you've just spoken about, of thinking that money is evil and it's hard to get money and whatnot.
Exactly.
But I feel like at the end of the day, and also I think another thing is that people always think, having more money is like a problem, or like,
Yeah.
okay, the more money you get, the more problems. Which I feel like in a way, yes, it makes sense, because again, the more you have money, you're thinking of how do you get that money, or how to keep it safe and how to utilize it. So in a sense, you're thinking of problems of how to manage it, or how to do things without, again, not maybe showing off or moving around and things like that. But rather than that, I think another belief that I used to have was that once I get a job and make enough money, like money is never enough. I think that's one thing we need to just get out there and accept. And so I think now that is like really moving away from the fact that you getting a job does not guarantee that you're not going to have those problems, and you making that money does not guarantee that all your problems are going to be solved. It's just how do you prioritize each and every responsibility that you have, and at the same time not forgetting that you also have a future to to take care of. And I think this is where our generational thought of you only live once comes in, because again, someone is like, oh, let me just spend for today, and you never know what will happen. But again, what about the future? If you make it out tomorrow, then what now? So yeah, I think those were some of my limiting beliefs. But I think I feel like at some point I'm getting to the realization. And one thing that I am really happy about is this program. I know, yes, I don't think I actually have finished like a very long time from school, but at the same time, it's never too late to like grow
Sure.
individually and just do a bit of like self-evaluation and be able to to reflect and change your ways. So I feel like that's one of the things this program has given me since I've joined. I'm like every time I'm grounded and I'm able to like sit and say, okay, but if this doesn't work out like this, how do I go about it? So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. That's really wonderful feedback. I mean, like you've really tackled most of like I believe that I hope most of us like right now she's talk of things that we encountered before, right? We have any other hand before I
We
proceed.
have Nancy. Nancy, please go ahead.
Okay, please. Yeah. Yes, Nancy, please proceed.
Yes. Well, thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Miss Brenda. A few of the beliefs I had about money is that I had a terrible belief that money is not supposed to be kept. I don't believe in hoarding up to now. So I used to have this belief that I can't just hoard money. I can't have money and then I just hoard it. I have either to, invest it, or I believe in the principle of giving. A hand that gives is a hand that receives. So one of the ways in which actually I do my investment is by giving. That's what I do because I'm a Christian. So there are also certain principles I live. Yeah, there are certain principles I live by. I know that if I tithe, if I give, if I help somebody, it usually comes back to me. So I had that belief. I still have it that I hold to heart. I can't actually leave that because I've seen it being productive in my life. And then the other thing is I used to believe, and I still believe, that investing money shouldn't just be anyhowly. You know how when they open public limited companies, usually many people go, they run and buy shares and all stuff like that. I always believe in critical analysis of a particular company, like what is their turnover within like per year or per month, and how is this trustworthy? Is it a foreign company? What will happen, like for a case of a country like South Sudan, where this economic situation is uncertain and it's unstable, anything can happen anytime. So I always
Sure.
believe in calculative investing. I want to know, okay, if starts right now, okay, what's going to happen to my money? What's going to happen to the project? So I believe in that, and I think I still believe in that. And also what the lady before me said is true. I also believe that maybe, when I get a job, my problems will just vanish. Like I'll have money to get over everything. I'll have money for my personal stuff. I'll have money for, unseen events in the future, for the family and all stuff like that. But when I got a job, my dear, I realized that that was just a fallacy. That was a lie. That was a lie. And indeed, I'm excited about this session, and I really want to learn more. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right, thank you so much, Nancy, and the previous fellow for your inputs and also the beliefs that we have in our life. And I'm sure we all want to talk right now. We could spend the whole day speaking with talking about the beliefs that we go about money. But let me just time is not our friend, so I will have to. But we still have things which we're going to have to talk later as we proceed. So like that's how we all have that beliefs, and we already encountered some of them, and I'm sure more are still coming in our minds. Okay, so your mindset, okay, shape your financial behavior. If you think small, you definitely act small. So your mind shapes everything. Your mind always act as your neurons. Okay, the brain, it thinks over 6,000 years, 66,000 foot. Like when you're in pressure or stress, that's how the brain thinks. So money problems are often thinking problem. Before they become money problems, always think of money. Like you have the wrong myth about it. It's like we said earlier, money is source of evil, a lot of stuff. But we're going to look into this as we proceed with this session. So listen, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. That's from Henry Ford. So whatever you think, like it depends. You think or you can't still, you are right. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, we're going to look which one I'm going to choose or which one you've been into. We have the poor and the wealth mindset. So I want us to look into this. The poor mindset, like we said earlier, it's a belief already. People think money is evil and hard to get. Who told you? Did you try? Did you give it a try? But it was just what mindset people are already talking about. No. That's a poor mindset. That's wrong. Money is not evil. It depends how you use money. It depends how you handle money. Handle it for the good thing. Did you try to do something? Did you try to establish a business and then you didn't get money? Did you try to handle anything? Like something that could be a lucrative job, like side hustle, let me say. That's a poor mindset. The other poor mindset people always have. I will start saving when I earn more. Yeah, I think most of you said that earlier. That's a poor mindset. The more you start saving, I mean, the more you earn money, the more problem arise. I have to be clear. Always problem rises. Okay, that's a poor mindset. Business is too risky. Yeah, I think I also face that. I struggle with that a lot. Like more especially when I do commodity business. Like I feel like it's just risky. It happens. People do not buy. And okay. So that's a poor mindset people always have. You be like, business is too risky. After opening, you face losses, and you will never cover the losses. Have you given it a try? Yes, everything has risk, but you will always have to take the risk. If you don't give it a shot, then how would you know? We learn from experiences. Those who establish big businesses today, if you could talk to them like one-on-one, they will tell you how long they've come. So that's poor mindset. Just on the contrary, wealth mindset, for those who have that mind, I would say, money is a tool to create freedom, right? It's a tool because it's not a source of evil. It's not hard to get. I can start small, which is the best thing. Anything you do in life, always start small. A business that is establishing, even in thinking, always start with what comes in your mind at that moment. I can learn to grow money. Yes, everybody does. How do you make money grow? You have to establish something. You have talents that you can even turn into something that can earn you. From the ladies, how many you don't need it? Like you do I don't know how they, like I've seen also people making those beats. Yeah. Like turning something into already can also make you grow money. Understand? Just I want you to consider. I just wanted to consider with you, okay? Like we have these two people, okay? One upgrades lifestyle, like just somebody, sometime you got a promotion, or maybe you got a salary increment. Like that was things that happened to you. One person might upgrade his lifestyle. That's one person can do that, right? He can begin to think immediately. We have to buy a new phone. Like, people nowadays in Juba expect you buy iPhone 17, buy new fashion clothes, you want to look neat, you want to look put together, all of the stuff, right? Because your income has increased. And also somebody who has the chance in his or her life will think of something different, will think of him to increase or her to increase our investment, his savings. Now tell me, what do you think would happen to these two people after you? Who is ahead? Definitely, the person who increase on saving and increments. Investments. So your income grows to the level of your mindset. If you want to have money, if you want to be wealthy, it's that level of your mindset. It's for you to erase that mindset of money is hard to get. Money is evil. Business is too risky. Saving, I will save money when I get job, when I earn more. I have to be honest with you. Your wealth grows to the level of your habits. Budgeting and saving systems. People sometimes rush into decision already making them the moment they get money. And people immediately when they get money, things just fly off their head. You don't even know what to do now. But you already have what to do. Like what you will do when you get money. So when you talk of budgeting, it's a financial planning, right? Just how do you plan your money? How do you plan your salary? You list them. You have tools. You could have your diary, you could have, like there's some tools that I'm going to dive later into them. So whereas the expense tracking and also is monitoring where your money goes, at least you will know where your money goes, at the end of the day. You will not be surprised you off nothing in your account. So basically, budgeting is just telling your money, handling, deciding where your money to go instead of wondering where it went at the end of the day. That's just basically how it is. So why does it matter for us to budget? First, it helps you to track income and expenses. Because if you don't budget, how would you know? Because you'll have to make sure you already have a list of what you're going to buy. You can see on my right-hand side there, you have stuff like grocery, house loan, travel, Like you already have something in mind that you're going to budget. And that's what matters. It will help you always track your income and expenses. Also to prevent overspending. Because what's not in the list of what you plan to budget, you will not touch it. Because it's not in your list. That's why it matters. And what does overspending leads to? You already know. Enables to saving and investing. First, after you budget everything, you set aside what you're going to buy. There you will know how much left. And then the remaining money, you could plan something. You can invest. You can save some of it. It also reduces financial stress. Like the other guy, when his brother asked him for the school fees, what happened? He panicked. stressed, pressured, you had to go and do it, borrow. See? So when you budget, I think you will be out of that. You will be far away from financial stress because you already had something in hand that you can always fall back to, which is saving. So the key idea is when you're budgeting, okay, always track, control, and what? And grow, not the other way around. Okay, still under budgeting. Okay, we're just going to go some key basic budgeting system that we're going to use. We have the 50, 30, 20. That's the rule for budgeting. Okay, like this helps you to divide your money into three parts. First, 50% you put it aside as what person needs, and 30% wants, 20% saving. That's a system that you can use. First of all, before I proceed, can you differentiate what's the difference between needs and wants? I just want somebody just to answer that quickly, so we're running out of time. Can you differentiate for me between needs and wants? Any hands? You can just
Yes.
unmute and proceed. Yeah. Thank you.
For needs, these are the basic human requirements that one cannot do without.
Exactly.
And then wants I don't know how to put them, but when it comes to
Just put it in your
wants,
own
like
words.
these are like goods of ostentation. Like, can do without them, although like it's
That
yeah,
not
can do
there.
without
Yeah,
not really.
exactly. Thank you. John, I think that's John Jacqueline. There's another hands up. If there's another hands up, please you can just unmute and proceed.
John,
can see.
please go ahead. It's John has a hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's also
actually,
Tuan. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
okay. Actually, those are the basically needs, and then those are primary needs, and then when you come to the wants, actually those are the comfortability of the life, the quality of how you live. Then even if you want to do more about what do you think is in the primary to reach into the extent of good life and time. Sometimes mostly they are called it quality of good life. Those are the ones. And when you come to the need,
Okay.
those are primary. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. The two fellows who just differentiated. I think you guys are right. That's how it is. The different way. Somebody put it clearly. Like needs, I think that we cannot live without. Like they're essential in our life. Like food, right? Rent. But once you can still without them at the end of the day. I guess things that maybe we're passionate about. You feel like you're invested, you feel like you want. So that's how you're going to put, that's the rule you should use when you're budgeting things. It will help you. And the 20% will be like this rule depends on how much you also and how much your needs, how much your wants will cover. Right? So there's another. Always pay yourself first. Always do that. Like saving before spending. Right? It's a better thing you should do. You not save after you spend. Like, what are you going to save now? Because something will arise immediately that you did not budget. So even you start small, even if it's 1%, it is still a strong start when you're saving. The other thing would be like zero-based budget. Okay, that's another rule. Zero-based budget. Like this fall under part like where like every unit of money is assigned to a purpose. Like you know exactly what this money is allocated for. Now, It's still under saving, budgeting and saving system, okay? Let's also look at saving. So when we talk of saving, this just in short term, okay, like you put something aside for tomorrow. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So that's all about it. You save something for future. If you compare to budgeting, you already know what you involve, like what the plan you have to spend that money for. That's budgeting. So saving is not what's left, it's what is prioritized. Okay? Can always make an issue like you'll be like, after now, let me first do budgeting, and then later on I will start to save. That's wrong. Because if it's what is left, it will automatically shift from something that you already did not plan about, because something you don't know might happen. Something will arise immediately in your mind, and you will be like, let me just put it that way. You will, and then from there, what happens? Like you left out saving, of which is very important. So now let's dive into this practical aspect that you should do. Always separate saving account. Make a separate saving account. Like for people who maybe you have account in the bank, for those who maybe have because those people do keep their money at home. They prefer to keep them home rather than taking them to the bank. You cannot still do that. Right? Mobile money, I don't know, in our country these days, mobile money, I don't know, but many people are scared already. Yeah. But it could be also one of the things for you to save your money. Yeah, you can also have that habit of thinking constantly. If you have a side job, maybe casual one, okay. Yeah, you can also plan to save weekly for your salary. Also, you can do it monthly. So it depends on how your income comes in. Like how you earn. Okay, let's look at the common challenges that we face. Okay. The first challenge, like always feel like to challenge that comes in. Okay. It seems not clearly, but we have the impulse spending, lack of tracking. Like we already went through that. Impulse spending, you spend anyhow, you don't budget, you don't save, you see. So there definitely you overspend. That's a common mistake. Saving systems will definitely we face that challenge. And then also have the lack of tracking. We don't track. If you don't track your income, you will not know the expenses that you encountered. And this normally comes with I will save later, I will save tomorrow. That's the mindset also. Okay, these behaviors, problems. You don't have to, be like blame them on your money, on your finances. They are behaviors problems, not income problems. Okay, now let's find solution for them. You already know you overspend. That's what costs you not to save. You don't track your income, but what can you do? Definitely, you will have to track every expense that you will do. Later, that will be solved later. We're going to dive into a practical session where we have some tools that we can use for you to be able to track your expenses and also every income. It starts small. When the saving, it starts small. Don't aim high. Approximately, like from 5 to 10%. Reduce unnecessary spending. When you track every expense, when you start small, you need you to reduce as well unnecessary spending. Things that are never meant. Things that are just once. Once. And don't forget to be consistent. At the end of the day, if you just do it for the sake of today, it will be nothing. Be consistent. was always at initial thing, there are always challenges. So it will not be the best outcome that you wish to. There were the results that you want. But just do it, even if it's not perfect. So budget is not about control, clarity and intentionalism. Okay. Just you could put that at the end of your the brain. Saving is about displaying future security. Do not save what is left after spending. Put this clearly. Spend what is left after saving. Yeah. Now after you budgeted everything, after you save, so from there, if there's something left, you can spend that after. But always make sure you save even before budgeting. Because saving will help you. Do not be stressed when things arises. Okay, let's look now into emergency fund planning. How do you plan emergency fund? What is emergency fund? What is it used for? So basically, it's just a financial safety net, okay? Unexpected event. We have issues that arise. Yeah, life is unpredictable. So this will help you. From its name clearly states, emergency fund, emergency fund. It's not for shopping. It's not for business investment. No. For planned expenses. No. But what is it for? It's strictly for emergency. Solely just that. So the key idea is emergency funds acts as financial safety net. It will help you when emergency comes in. It protects you when lives become unpredictable. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. If you have emergency fund, you will not have to panic around. You will not have to borrow money. Because that's emergency, and it will fix, as the name states, it's clear, emergency. Why do we need to have emergency funds separated, put aside? Like I said earlier before, life is uncertain. Emergencies can happen at any time, at any day. Without letting you know, they'll just come. If they do let people know that we are coming tomorrow or in the evening, I think you will get ready for that. You see at my right hand, I think these are couples. So they maybe man asked like, there's this now, we have this emergency, maybe the wife trying to, explain. And then from there, as a man, you don't have anything to be set aside for emergencies. Definitely what will happen? You will have to borrow. You see? So it will help you not to borrow money. It will also make you not face serious stress. And I came to notice that many young people nowadays, like approximately, I think I during this I don't know data collected, I don't know, like over like 70% of the youth die of stress. And it's one of the things to do with finances, kill people deeply inside. And then you will hear that somebody just fell off and and kicked the bucket, just like that. But you could burn a lot inside there. If you don't have emergency fund, it can also lead you to sell your own property, your own house, your own car, your own phone. As I'm talking, I know most of the people have faced that. I've seen my colleagues actually. Somebody faced with stuff, then you will sell phone. You'll either sell your phone or yeah, that's something like any asset that you have. But if you have emergency, it will help you. Because that's in an emergency, it will cover for that, the fund that you already planned for it. Yeah. What is it for? When you plan this, the money that you set aside, any serious certain illness, hospital bills that can cover for it, or emergency. Because that's emergency, it's unpredictable. We do not know when we're going to fall sick, do we? Family emergencies. There are tons of them. That's what we all know. Of people who are married, you know what is already you guys are facing. Emergencies that comes up all day. Urgent repairs. Could be a house that is leaking. You need to fix it. Yeah, when rain comes, do you want to live in a wrecked house? Your phone screen, transport. For instance, if you are invited for like called for an interview, like maybe you don't have anything at that moment, so you use that because it's urgent. It's an emergency. And how sure are you that your job will be forever? So emergency funds will help you when you lose a job or there's delay in incomes or salary. I do remember, like we have like most people, like government officials, and like been complaining, like they have 6 months of they never received their. So for those who do not like have something fun that they planned for, I think they suffered. So let's look clearly. When there's no emergency fund, you will feel stress. Yeah, you'll have debt. People will be looking for you. I do remember for those who borrow a lot, even sometimes they face it, like they don't even move. Like all the time they reach the corner, they will have to look clearly face, because they know they have debt with people. It's a bad habit. When you borrow, so you see how it's even weighing down that lady. Dependence. You'll be asking, like you over depend on even your parents, still you already grown up person, maybe you have your own house, but you still depend on your parents, you still go and ask them for something. So always make sure you have an emergency fund because it will help you face things, to help you to be confident. You will be stable financially. Because that's the key. Because if anything arises, emergency fund will not be easily covered because you have used it. And hence, your salary will begin to drain. It will help you be independent. You don't have to go and borrow from friends, from family, from wherever. Because you will have something that you fall back to at least fill that gap. So the common mistake to avoid, using emergency fund for non-emergency. Okay? Like the name states clearly, it's emergency fund. Why do you use it for non-emergency fund? You just one day go to the market, then maybe you pass by a market, then you see this wonderful dress. Oh, it's so nice, You feel like, yeah, let me buy it. See? Is it something emergency? Even phones could be airtime, I don't know. Not replacing used funds. After spending emergency funds, always make sure you replace it right after. Because another thing might also come. So what will you do? Always make sure you replace it right after that. When you use emergency funds, replace it. Waiting to earn more, of which it's almost a belief to all of us that everything will be okay when I'm stable financially, when I receive There's tons of, huge amounts of money, dollars, there's tons of things. That's wrong. So a quick question. If an emergency happened this month, where will your money come? I just want one person, please. Just be honest with yourself. I want a radical truth. Just if something happened right now, where will you get that money? Do you have emergency fund that you put already? Okay, thank you, Julius. Please proceed. Just want you to be honest. Are you going to borrow? Are you going to your family? Just I want you to be honest. Julius, please. Julius, your hands up. You can unmute this.
Okay, are you getting me now?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Thank you for the chance, and I really enjoyed this wonderful presentation. Concerning the question, so if the emergency fund arrives, if I'm out of money now and I'm having some emergencies, the best thing is to borrow from a trusted friend.
Exactly.
And
that's what I know.
yeah, so I think that would be possible for me to do. So if I should borrow from a friend whom I know, that it will not disturb me later. Because if you borrow from someone again, then that person maybe will disturb you and will bring some tension and some mistrust.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julius. Yeah, definitely. Like he was honest, right? Like, yeah, right now, if just an emergency happened right now to him, he said he will borrow from a trusted friend. Why trusted? Why did he even say trusted? Because he knows he will be disturbed after borrowing that money. He already carrying a debt. So do you want to always borrow? Of course not. That's the reason you should set something in for emergencies. Life is unpredictable, it's certain. An emergency fund does not stop problems. That's a clear. I'm going to make it clear for you. It's not only, it will stop your problems, but what it does only to what? It stops problems from destroying your finances. You understand? It will only stop that. Because a leak of your salaries, that's the end of it. It will destroy your finances. Have you ever wondered why people sometimes when they immediately after they've been fired from job place, there will be like somebody who did not even work. Like there will be as usual, like you find them not even something that happened, like change in their life. Is that the problem that always happens? Emergency will always help you only avoid destroying your finances, because it will help in a situation that you feel like it's not going to leave you. Financial discipline. What is financial discipline? Just basically, okay. Just ability, right, to control your spending, stick to your financial. That's the discipline. Make decisions based on long-term goals, not short-term feelings. That's what it covers mostly. You have that ability to explain your finances. So this helps you really in your path of becoming somebody who's stable enough, somebody who will be able to take care of his or her family. It's about doing what is right with money. Not even like when it's difficult, when it isn't difficult. Despite challenges that you have already going through, how do you handle money? In the right way? Or do you panic? And then at the end of the day, nothing is even budgeted, nothing is even bought, nothing. Some people go with tons of money to market and still come back. Few things, or maybe like what even they didn't even plan because they lack financial discipline. Why does it matter to us? Why does discipline, financial discipline, what will happen if you don't have discipline the finances? Yeah, like you can see, you will definitely overspend. You will fail to save money. You will stay financially unstable, of which nobody ever dreamed to be. Wants to be unstable. Everybody wants money, and everybody dream of luxurious life, a lucrative job, lucrative. Uh, so that's the things that we definitely face. But now, cater to it. Definitely, you will build saving. If you are disciplined financially, you build saving. You avoid unnecessary debt because you already have something in place. You already have emergency fund. You already have saving that can solve your problems when you fall into. You will not go and borrow money from friends or go and ask from your mom, your dad. That age maybe years of which you're not supposed to be asking from them, but it's to support them. I do know we've come from big families, like extended family, and also to some cultures. I understand people, we have that ideology and also mindset to like two cultures. We are accustomed to cultures of which we do not yet. But you will gain financial control if you have financial discipline. Now, let's look at the common challenges to discipline. Impulse. Spending, like buying things without planning, often influenced by emotion. It leads you to wants, right? Things that you just feel like to have them. Just emotion, right? How beautiful they look. I mean, it could be clothes. How, like the aroma, like, how they smell, the food that you want to, go and, a big restaurant, I don't know, just feel like one is overspent, Sometimes it could be like a peer pressure from your colleagues, from your friends, Also promotion of which people fall under today. You just get paid because they have a good lounge, when they're doing promotion. You can even dig what you already put 10 years back, like you'll go and get it out and go and buy that. Peer pressure and lifestyle. Trying to what? Like just your friends would like they have this, like you see your friends spending money, going to weekend all the time, buying new phones, new fashion clothes. So that's people now, you feel like, why not me? I also need to have. You find somebody owning a phone that even his salary, like he could even have 3 years to collect all his salary and could not still buy that phone. There is a fear, fashion influence, the lifestyle that we adapt from people. Of course, social media, of which many youth today get trapped. Just got there, checking things there. Yeah, that's much it. Then lifestyle inflation, okay? Like as income increases, spending also increase unnecessarily. Because you've got a promotion, you are now earning your income incremented. So what do you want to use? You'll be like, yeah, like it will, if you don't have that discipline, you will spend unnecessary. Things just, go. Now let's look this practical techniques to build that discipline. I know we might lack that. Somebody can ask, how do I then go about it? How do I start? The 24 hours. Why do I mean by this? 24 hours, whenever you are doing something, whenever you think of something that you do not plan, you do not budget it, wait for 24 hours before you act to it. At the end of the day, I'm sure you will find the answer of buying or not. Because just sometimes comes as thoughts, like thought just come, want to. But pause for a moment, please. Have 24 hours of thinking. Sleep over it the night. Again, do this. Separate needs from wants. We already know what needs are, what wants are. If you know what is needs, what wants, you will not have a problem overspending. Always separate that. Follow the right money flow. Like here you see, this is the flow should go like this, how it should align. Earn fast. That's the first thing. You should earn and then save is spend, but not the other way around. Not spending, saving, and then earn. It will not work right. Follow this. Follow this. Plan before spending, yeah, which is the key. Have decision. Sit down. Ask your spouse if you're married, your partner. Ask a trusted friend. And definitely, you will come with a good strategy for spending your money. Now, what is the last? I just want like one person, okay? Let me also give another chance. What is the last thing you bought that you didn't really need? It could be today, okay? It could be yesterday or in the past. Just be honest. And why did you buy it? What was the last thing that you bought, but you did not even want, like you did not even need it, trust me. But you still like you wonder why did I even buy this? Did you have that? If there's a hand, please just unmute and tell me. Just be honest. Yes, please, Tariq. Tariq, I can,
Yeah, yes, you can hear me, right?
yeah, sure, proceed.
Yeah, the last thing I bought was a luxurious watch. You see, I went to the supermarket, then I was doing window shopping, then this watch came across me. Then I was like, I should just buy, okay? But it was not in my plan. So I
Yeah, you
later
see,
learned that I spent a lot of money on buying it, and yet it's not very
it's not
important.
even like worth
Yeah.
it. But it's not what it's
Yes.
supposed. Yeah, I saw John. Don't be quick, please. I'm running out of time.
Joan had
Just one person,
Hannah.
please. John, who? Hannah?
No.
Okay, Jane,
John?
please.
Okay, Jen, please go ahead.
Jane, you can. Yeah. Jane, yes, please proceed.
You can hear me?
Yeah, please proceed.
Okay, I can remember the last time, the last thing I bought, it was last week. I went to the market actually to buy food items, but instead I went and bought bags, and all the money went there. It wasn't in my mind, but I just bought the bags instead of buying the food
You
items.
felt like that's
So
emotion.
I just wasted
Maybe
money like that. Oh, just
So
imagine that. And
exactly,
the money has just gone. Oh my God.
you see. So that's how when you don't sit down and close up, you don't plan. Like we do understand emotion drive us sometimes, right? We understand. When you go by the roadside, you see these nice clothes, nice parks, you know, these nice smelling foods, and you begin to overspend without even planning for them. So it happens. That's how life is. But it's up to you now. Discipline is not choosing between what you want now, okay? What you want most. That's Abraham Lincoln. So financial discipline is not about restriction. Like honestly, I'm not restricting you from not buying you stuff that you want. They might look good, they must be important, they might be of higher priority to you. But think of it, did you plan? Is it a want or a need? It's about choosing a better future for you. Because one leak of your income from now, it will spoil your future. It will make you unstable until you reach the age of 45 and you realize yourself, you never even built anything. You never do anything for your kids, for your family. Salary negotiation. Yes, I'm going to be just going to be a little basic on this because we're going to cover much on it. Brenda is going to take you to like one of the situation where you have interviews on a lot of things because mostly people ask them during the job interviews. So she's a certified lecturer. She has a lot of knowledge about that. So let me just break it down simply in this way. Okay. Salary negotiation, like it's a process of discussing and agreeing on your pay with an employer based on like just a discussion, like you negotiate, you talk. What skills do you have? What experience do you have? Your value, are you determined? Sometimes people undermine themselves, they underestimate themselves. Is it wrong for you to negotiate, to fight what you have? Of course not. So it's not begging. We are not begging them, right? It's you presenting your worth. You're presenting what value you have, what value you will bring, the skills that you will bring in that company. The experience you had, you're going to bring it in that institution. So it's not begging, you're not begging them. You're going to go deeper. How would you go about it? How would you handle such situation? Because I know sometimes we feel like like any chance that comes, we immediately grab it. Because in this country, you know, the situation, you know, like jobs are not even there. Right? Jobs are not there. But we're going to look into this. So the key insight is many people lose money today, but not because they are underqualified, like I said, not because they're not worthy, but because they never asked for better pay. They did not ask. Honestly, a friend was working with one of the NGOs here in Juba, under education, I think, basically. So when she applied for a job, like it was only one position. But after receiving the job, I mean, like it integrated, and like she was even holding the role of HR, holding the role of finance, and also at the same time the role of logistics, imagine. But she applied for HR. So she never had a discussion at one negotiation with the NGO, the hiring manager, I think. And then later on, you know, things begin to be tough. She has a family to take care of. Sister to go to school. Her own son in school. And she could not, she was all stressed all the time, asking, no, I do. And she'll be like, maybe sometimes she concludes, let me just get the job. And maybe I will be better, I'll be free from all this stress. So why salary negotiation matters? First, it increases your earning because you know what your worth is. You know what you're aiming at. You know how much your money, I mean, your lifestyle, your expansion. It affects your future income. Like for those who always have a dream of billionaire, of course, start from now. It reflects your self-value. It helps you get fair compensation. It improves your financial life. It builds confidence and communication skill. How do you present yourself? How can you negotiate? Because sometimes it's not all about arguing. How do you present yourself before them, the communication? What language do you use? The skills that you have. So let's look at this clear mistake. These are the common mistakes people always make. Accepting the first offer immediately, without thinking about it, without asking. Always ask when you're applying for any company, if you're applying for any role, schools, anyway, ask, because there are people that have been employed there. You can ask them, how much do they pay for such a role? There you will be ready for you to defend, for you to negotiate easily. But you will just accept it. Okay, yeah, just go. Undervaluing yourself. You always undervalue yourself. Don't undervalue yourself. You have that capability. Lack of preparation, of which the key. Many people go to interviews or maybe go to negotiation talk without preparing. Always prepare, ask yourself question, build that confidence. Yeah. And don't fear. Always ask. Don't fear to ask. You can ask. Yeah. Now, how would you do this? How would you go about negotiating? Effectively. Know your worth, your value. Understand what you can bring. Like I said earlier, you have the skills, you have the experience, and the results that you could bring. Research the market. That's what I've just covered. Research always. Know others that have a similar roles that arms. Why do you do that? Because it will help you ask realistically. You have the idea back in mind. You already know how much you're going to receive from this. You're going to earn. At least you're not going to be fake. You're not going to talk out of nothing, vacant. You have something that you know. Build that confidence. It builds that confidence when you research, because you're already confident about it. You can receive this amount. When you're speaking, even when it's coming out of your lips, they will know like you are confident about what you ask, and you are confident about yourself, about your skills, the experience that you can bring to that institution or organization. It's still under the effective negotiation. Communicate clearly and confidently. Speak respectfully. Yeah, like I said, I repeat, speak respectfully. Lower your tone. You're asking for your worth. You're not trying to cover off on anything you did wrong. Or maybe you're asking like as if you owe them. Yeah. So the best example could be like, when they ask you how much respect they pay you, you'd be like, based on my skill and experience, I was expecting a salary in the range of, you see that word range. At least give it a range, don't be specific. Even if you already know how much they give, right? Even if they want to spend 500 or 1,000 dollars, give it a range. Like you can say from 1,000 to 1,200 dollars. At least a range. Like you're not definite. Don't be definite about that. And be flexible. Be flexible, but what? Open to discussion. Like be open to discussion. Okay. Don't be restricted. Don't be hard also. Don't have minded. Be open to communication, be discussion as you go along. But always also remember, don't undervalue, don't underestimate yourself. You have it inside there. If your salary cannot increase, okay, like what I'm trying to say, when the flexibility now comes in, right? If the salary cannot increase, then ask them for benefits, right? Benefits that they can offer you. Because if they offer these benefits, they can cover up some of your incomes that you will not have to use. For instance, the transport. If they can cover for your transport, that's okay. Well, you can have the job. If they can give you allowances, if they can offer trainings, so these are positive things that can work also. You can accept them. Pause and think, really. Pause and think. Don't rush to accept immediately. Thinking, pausing gives you confidence, give you a better decision. Don't rush it. You can take this example. If they ask you, you can say, thank you for the offer. Yeah, I would like to select some time, right, to review it. I don't know for most ladies, but sometimes when you ask them, maybe to be my girlfriend, or they'll be like, yeah, give me some time. Girls know that better. So that's how you do. You ask them. Yeah, Trace is laughing. They'll be like, give me some time to review this. Like, you just do that. You don't have to rush it. Pause and think about it. Why does that? People negotiate, I know. Why people are really, afraid to negotiate. I don't. That's the reason they have them, because they're afraid they might not get another job. Like they could be hunting for jobs for almost like their lifetime, and then once comes, I can't let it go. You'll be like, yeah, let me just grab it for now, maybe sometime. What's the worst that can happen if you ask? Just reflect these two questions. I just want you to reflect them as we continue. Why are people afraid to negotiate? Why are you afraid to negotiate? What's the worst that can happen if you ask? That's a mindset. Believe. You think something worse might happen if I ask them. They might chase me out. I don't know. But that's how it's have to come. Like, you have that things that will always digest in your mind. So your salary is not just given, it's often negotiated. Just know that all these hiring companies and workplaces, they always negotiate. They don't give us put specific kind of salary for such a role. They always do. They negotiate about it. So speak for your value. Why not? You have that value. So income streams and side hustle thinking. Just it's any source which I'm going to time is running so quick. So I'm just going to touch this quickly as I just go through them. So an income stream is any source. Yeah, Tracy, I will give you a chance to this thing. Any source from which the money comes into your life. Most people depend on only one. Like that's what people do. They only depend on salary. But financially stable people build multiple stream of income. Those who have money right now, if you see those who have larger companies, they always those who made it successful in life, they always do that. They do some kind of thing to multiply these streams of income. They don't depend on salary alone. Depending on one income is like standing on one leg. If it fails, you fall. I don't know. I'm just imagining a tall person like me right now standing on one leg. I don't know how it's really tough, right? So, why one income is risky? Yeah, if your income stops, what will happen? You cannot pay your bills. I know. Right now, if your job stops, you will not be able to pay your bills. You cannot support yourself, even your own self, even your family, let alone yourself. You become financially unstable, of which might affect your future. Types of income. We already know okay, incomes that we have: salary and active income, with salary, side income, casual works, and the passive. So that's pretty. So what is side hustle thinking, right? It's just a mindset looking for opportunities. Side hustle. What I like about whites people. I normally watch my best favorite show, that's Pop the Balloon or Find Love. So, when you go there in that show, people will be like, what do you do? I'll be like, I'm holding CEO of such company and I do this side hustle. At least they always have something that it's side, that's a hobby that they do. They like doing it and that earns them money. So when talk of hustle, side hustle thinking, it's a mindset of looking for opportunities, using the skills to earn extra money. What skills do you have? I don't know, you have them. But have you ever used them? The question is, did you use those skills? not depending only on job. That's the mindset. But just take this. Instead of asking, how can I save more? Why don't you just ask, how can I earn more? Have you ever asked that yourself? How can I earn more? That's a big mindset for a wealthy person who will make it in. Okay. Now, these are the common barriers. People don't start. Why people don't start? They're the common barriers. Like people don't even think of doing anything, like doing side work, hustles, Some will be like, I don't have capital. Yeah, definitely people do say that. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't know what to do. Even like they don't even know what to do. I remember we covered a session about decision making. I also like one thing like not deciding it's a decision. So if you don't know what to do, really think of it. Cannot even take you a night to think about something that you can work on. So fear of failure, of which we saw earlier, like people say, business are risky, losses all the time. So come on. So how to start a side hustle? Identify your skills. Know exactly what you can do, what you can offer, right? What you can do well. Ask yourself, what can I do well? What do people ask me for help? Have you ever been asked to do something that you think it's also a lucrative kind of job? Find a need. What people like, this is the big picture to those who have the big idea of like entrepreneurs, and they will be like asking around the community what people really need, and then they establish a business. So what problems can you solve? Start small. Don't wait for perfection. I repeat, don't wait for perfection. Test your idea with small steps. That's why people always face challenges of losses a lot, because they aim to start something large, big business. And later when they fail like, they ended up crying. Be consistent. It's a key. You can all do a lot of stuff, but if you're not consistent, there's nothing will grow. Definitely, things will go sluggish, improve over time. So you don't always have to be like, you need to do this and you should see the positive part of it immediately right there. No, things always have to gradually, they grow. So a quick question. What skill do you have that can make money? Just right now, think about it as we continue. What skill do you have? I just wanted to think about this question as we continue. Do you have any skill that you think can make money? Your job can pay your bills. Yeah, we do know that job can pay your bills. A side hustle can change your whole life, trust me. Things that you do with your own self, things that you do with your own power, like you physically get into the labor, the tools that you do can change your life. Job, you can lose them anytime, but your hustle can stay forever with you because it's a skill that you rely on. It's what you do. Nobody, you're the boss of your business. Nobody have to tell you. Nobody have to give you direction. Nobody have to promote you. It's you. Yeah, you. Decision is a process. Yep. And decision making is a process of what? Choosing how to earn, spend, save, and invest money. Thinking about both short-term and long-term consequences. Okay. Like just in a short term, every money choice you make is a financial decision. Every choice you make, it's a financial decision. So always make sure you have a good financial decision, a good critical analysis of what you're going to do with your finances. The key insight, your financial life is not shaped by one big decision, but by many small daily decisions. Why financial decision matters? Every decision has this, okay? Just know this. Every decision that you will make in your life, you have made, there are always these two things that happen. There's a good decision and there's a poor decision. The good one will always build your wealth, because if it's something that is good, that is concrete, it will lead to wealth. If it's bad, it's poor decision, it will create stress and loss. Type of financials, like in our daily life, we have a spending decision. Decision like how to decide what to buy, what to what not to buy. That's a spending decision. We also have a decision of saving, choosing to set like money aside. Like how do you go about that? So that's a decision saving. Saving decision. I also have the investment decision, like using money, like I said, using your money for you to invest to generate more money. That's also a decision, investment decision. The risk decision, always know that, always outcome, and the outcome might be bad or good. So there always be risk in anything you will decide. Evaluating whether financial growth is safe or risky, that's what you will do. Always evaluate that. And know the back of your mind that there will always be risk in anything you do with the finances. Common poor financial decisions that we do, okay, spending without planning, already covered that. Ignoring future needs, we do that a lot of which our youth today do. We ignore the future, we live by today. Following the crowd, yeah, you have pressure, you have friends, your colleagues influence you, people around you. Making decision under pressure, always give it a pause, always think through it before you act it. Give it a 24 hours. Give it a thought, sleep over it. Don't just decide under pressure. Now let's look at this framework. Pause and think. Don't rush decision. These are the smart frame that you should use when you are deciding. Pause and think. This will help you in making decision. Don't rush it. Define the purpose. What are you doing? What are you going to like? What's the reason of you spending this money? You have a clear picture of it. You have a good reason for you to give why you want to buy this. Consider consequences. Yeah, just think ahead. Think of the future. What happens if I do this today? If I buy this, like my brother who bought a watch, right? So sometimes you do things, but thinking before you just react to them. You never thought of it. You just get yourself emotional attached to something, and then you do it. So always think ahead of something when you buy or do anything. You can also ask yourself, what happens if I don't? Is it a positive? Is it negative? Compare options, exactly. I love this. Prioritize, compare them. Which one is good at that particular moment? Which one is supposed to be prioritized at that very instant? Delay gratification. Choose long-term benefit over short one, exactly. Because short ones are just sometimes pleasure, So what is the worst financial decision you have seen or made? It's another question I wanted to also think about. Have you ever decided or have you ever seen one or worst financial decision you have made? So be aware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. Honestly, have you ever seen ships, those boats, just a leak of it, and then it's there, off, overturned, or it's sinked? It's Benjamin. So bring all this together, okay? Now, just only 2 minutes. So today, okay, I just wanted to bring all of what we have covered today. Today, we didn't just talk about money. I have to make this clear to you. We talked about what? Taking control of your life, building stability in uncertainty, creating a future that's intentional, not what accidental, never just comes certain. You have also learned about budgeting, saving, emergency preparedness, okay, financial discipline, negotiating your worth. You have to negotiate. You're worth it. You have the value. Getting multiple incomes instead, making smarter financial decisions. But none of this matters if it ends here, honestly. After this income, after the situation, if it ends here, it's nothing. It doesn't matter. The truth is, you must remember, financial success is not about how much you earn. I repeat, it's not about how much you earn. Where you come from, like from a poor background, from rich background, it doesn't. It's about what do you do consistently, what do you do frequently, what you love to do. Because it always comes from within when you do something, when you choose to do something. It's about what you do consistently and the choices you make every day. I just want you to take a moment right now, just a moment of honesty, okay? And ask yourself this question. Where am I financially today? Let's take that moment and ask yourself honestly. Am I in control or just reacting to life? Yes, people go, people leave, yeah. Are you also by that? And if nothing changes, where will I be in 1 year? If nothing changes, ask yourself that question. I'm not judging you. This is not a judgmental question. It's not about awareness that I'm doing right now. But your personal action plan is start right now, right here. Choose one thing. Don't try to change everything. I have to be honest with it. Don't change everything. Just choose one thing that you will love to work on right after the session. Could it be start saving? Could it be controlling your expenses? Or maybe starting a new side, a side hustle. Or maybe tracking your money. You want to track your money. Like you've never been tracking your money. You don't even know how much you spend. Just choose one thing that you would like to work on. Don't choose everything. You can't change everything once. Make it clear. Make it clear to yourself. Be like, I will save 10% of my income. I will stop impulse buy. That's that assurance to yourself. Make it clear to yourself. I'll start a small business idea. Just give it that. Just lay it out. Just make it clear. And give it a time frame. Don't just say it. You can say, but if you don't put to action, it's still nothing. It's worthless. It could be like you could say maybe for the next 30 days, for the next week, for the next 2 weeks ahead. Okay? And act immediately. After you have stated, after you have set a time frame, give it that action. Not tomorrow, not next week, just right after that time frame. Because today, I want to write your budget, save your first amount, list your side hustle. And most of all, I would like to tell you is stay consistent. It's the key. You can do this for the first week. It will not change your future. But consistency will lead you to something. You don't need a perfection. You only need a discipline of what you talk about. How can you? You only need a discipline, but not perfection. Now, just a self-reflection. What has money stress cost you? Have you ever been stressed? And what did it cost you? Opportunities? Was it peace? Was it confidence? Now, I just want you to imagine, just close your eyes and imagine with me. Having saving right now, you have saving, having control of your expenses, having options. How do you feel about that? Well, if you're with me right now, that's not impossible. It's possible. But only what? Only if you act to it. So my final message to you guys, financial future will not change you because you attended this session. Because you guys don't into this session, but it will change because you decide to act after this. After the session, right after it, if you act there, you will have it. So the bigger picture is this. This is not just about money. I clearly stated from the beginning of the session, but it's about freedom. It's about your freedom. It's about your independence. It's about your dignity. It's being able to support yourself, first yourself, and maybe others later comes in. Living without constant stress. That's all we wish to have, that life, you know. So my final takeaway to you guys, start small. Start now. Like I said earlier, be consistent, even when it's hard. I know in this country we have right now, things are just going south. Control your money, or it will control you. Like, yeah, I repeat, control your money, or it will control you. Build habits that builds your future from now. I know I've spoken a lot. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left. Left after saving. I'm telling you, your life will change the moment you take responsibility for your money, not because you have more, but because you start using what you have wisely. Start today. Yeah. Be consistent and build the future you deserve. Thank you so much for listening. Over to you, Brenda.
Thank you, Samuel, for the presentation. We are already 5 minutes past time. And I've put the attendance here.
Okay.
Please just, I'm gonna put it again. And most of the people I've seen have already dropped off. But for those who are here, please complete the attendance there. All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to put your hands up and share your questions. I've seen a couple of people asking questions on salary and all that in the chat. I don't know if you'd like to respond to those, but I'd like the questions to basically focus on today's session and not recruiters and not employers and salary and all that. But you can go through those questions. But I looked at them and they're all relating to employment and salary expectations and all that. But if anybody has any questions that relates to today's presentation particularly, please feel free to put your hands up and you share your question. If you have a comment or feedback, please feel free to share or drop it in the chat. Thank you, Zorjok. This has cleared and showed me the way forward. Thank you for the comment. Attendance is already there. Please feel free to fill it out and get your tablet. And if we don't have any questions and you've already marked your attendance, please feel free to leave the call and you have a good evening.
There's someone inside.
Yes, Nancy, please go ahead.
Okay, hi once again, Miss Brenda. Hi, Samuel. I have a question, but before that, I would like to appreciate Samuel for this wonderful session. I've learned a lot, and yes, I've learned my mistakes. whatever he has highlighted really speaks to me. I am somebody who also buys stuff on impulse, and I always make a shopping list, but I end up not buying everything on the list because I find other things more attractive when I go to the supermarket or the market. Then I tend to buy other things that are not budgeted for. Now my question is, are there public limited companies in South Sudan where we can buy shares like for investment purposes? Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy. Samuel, I'm not sure if you have a research on that. Please go ahead and take it up. Do you have public limited companies in South Sudan where people can buy shares?
Well, thank you so much for also hearing the feedbacks and also for the question. So I don't know, but I've never tried to check on that. But I'm sure they might be there. So, but I'm not definite about it. Not really definite about it. But we can work on that. We can try to ask maybe.
Then another thing is, do you have to create different accounts for let me say the emergency fund and maybe say savings account, like maybe for just savings and investment, or you can actually, have a joint account. Let me say this is my savings account. It is a fixed account, and in this fixed account of mine is only for savings. I mean, it's only for investment and maybe also for emergency. Also for my emergency funds. Is that okay, or I have to create like different accounts?
Different account. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good question. But we I think like in banks, but I know there's saving account. I don't know about emergency accounts. Maybe like maybe you can combine like the two, like saving account and I mean like the saving fund. The emergency fund you can save it right within the saving account, but you cannot combine it together with the investment or maybe other incomes because it will confuse you. You might use them like you not easily get to find them back. So that's what I can maybe encourage you to do. You can separate it maybe or combine it together with saving account.
Thank you.
Let me hope I've answered you.
Yeah. So
if you have
as we were trying to give Nancy response, she has left. Yeah, she's still here. So
Still here.
nice. I wanted to give you a feedback on this financial situation of South Sudan. Right. So you cannot buy shares in South Sudan now. There are no publicly limited companies in South Sudan. Right. Because South Sudan does not have like a stock exchange or a security market because it's listed as insecure, so it doesn't have a stock exchange market or a security market. So because of that, there are no publicly listed companies whose shares are available to the public, right? But there are private companies and joint ventures like the banks and telecom companies and the brewery companies, the NGOs and development enterprises. These are private companies, but they are privately owned, or closely held. So their shares are not publicly traded. So the ownership is limited to founders, to governments, or specific investors, right? So since there is no stock market, so you only have the option of private investment. And the only way you can do that is by buying equity directly from these companies. And of course, that is if they invite you to buy equity in those companies. Right. So if they don't invite you, you can't buy. And you can also start or partner with a business. There are businesses that are already existing. Of course, you can work with them and offer them like, partnership or something, when they are open to it, you can do that. Right. So those are some of the options, but of course you can try other regional stock market options that are open now. Of course, you need to do your research and also get like a financial advisor or somebody who can basically get to understand the market and offer you an advice. I know places like Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, these are places offer quite good market, stock market. So those are the options that you can explore. But through South Sudan, that's not possible. Right. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you. I have one more question, if that's okay.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
please
please.
proceed.
Well, about saving, we know that saving is very important, but using South Sudan as our parameter, we know that the saving situation is very, I don't know, skeptical in South Sudan. First of all, the high rate of interest is very high. There's a high interest rate. And then secondly, I think the last time I was there last year, people were complaining that it was very difficult for them, to withdraw money from the bank. Now, if I have my money, I'm not talking about the emergency fund or my savings account, my fixed savings account, but then, like my money just, if I want to have a current account, do you think it's really advisable that somebody should open a current account in any of the banks in South Sudan? Because now imagine you want to buy something or you want to do something, but then it is difficult for you to really access your own funds. Do you think it's really necessary for me to open a current account, for my daily withdrawals at any bank in South Sudan, given the fact that the interest rate is high and also the fact that it's very difficult. It's very difficult, like to withdraw money. And also the currency, the currency is losing value. It's always losing value every time you see that dollar rate is high. Today it's 5, 6. Tomorrow is something else. Like, what advice would you really give somebody, like, based on that economic situation in the country?
Okay. That's a brilliant question. I think in this situation of our country right now, like most people, like I can say most of the businessmen, and entrepreneurs and other people, will do not say this day in like to open accounts in the banks. People are afraid these days of this deflation, inflation throughout this the economy that we have for this country. So I would say if you maybe saving in dollars, that would be maybe preferred. I think that will be okay because dollars depends on how the the the, the raise of the of money, how the deflation, the inflation of the country's income. But I would encourage you, if there's another way, you can also maybe, yeah, how also other people do these days. They just save in their homes, so they keep their money at homes. They don't even take them to bank. But it's more secure when you keep them in the bank. That's what I can. I don't know if Brenda, you have something to say.
Okay, thank you, Samuel. But then security aside, I would like really a very strong reason why I should keep my money in the bank. If I put
Just
aside,
so
I think okay.
I'm
yeah.
saying it's very important for you to own a bank account and basically have your money in the bank. It's safer than anything else you can know. And we know the banks in South Sudan, right? The situation surrounding the exchange rate issues and all that. Just like Sam says, the first thing is that try and save money in the hard currency. So South Sudan has the flexibility for you to own a dollar. So you'd rather convert whichever money that you have. If it's in SSP, change it in SSP. And the safest thing I always tell people is that open bank accounts in these regional banks. The regional banks currently operating in South Sudan are the EcoBank. I know EcoBank is very good. Stanbic Bank. through these banks, you are able to access your money where you are. Let's say, I understand, I think the last time you said you were in Kampala. So you can get this money in Kampala. You can get this money in Kenya. You can get this money in all the countries within Africa where EcoBank is available, where Stanbic Bank is there. So it is safer for you not to put your bank with a small, to put your money in these small banks. The risks are very high and anything can happen and they can just choose to close down and shut down. Right. And as much as possible, don't limit yourself to like one account. So you can have a current account where you're able to operate everything, and you can also have a savings account. And then you can also have this in at least two banks so that in terms of safety, you're able to be sure. But consider options of the regional banks. These ones have some form of security that they can provide. Again, through the savings, you are able to earn interest and all that, depending on the package that you choose. You can earn interest on your money instead of keeping the money in the house and it doesn't earn anything. Because yeah, if it doesn't earn anything, it depreciates in value. So the best you could do is to give it to the bank, and the bank can invest it in other things and pay you interest from that money. And that can be one way of you actually growing your money. Even if you're not doing anything, the bank grows it for you. So you can have a financial advisor advise you on the options that are available. But strongly recommended, put money in the bank and not in the houses. It's very risky.
Okay, thank you very much.
There's someone who said, Thorn is here. Yes. What is mostly common mistake people do for emergency funding? Samuel, take that.
Yes, I think I got this question. I was trying also to review other questions so that I can answer them at once. Okay, let me first start with this first question about how people always spend their emergency funds for other things. Like if you are following in my presentation, I gave you a couple of examples of where circumstances where people use the emergency fund. Like you buy things that are like you buy your wants, like for instance, like you use them for things that are not emergency, like emergency things. You understand? So, for instance, like I give it clearly there, like emergency fund. We use them like for hospital bills, maybe something that could be urgent and it's really emergency. You understand? So you cannot use it for something that you feel like you're just emotionally withdrawn to, or maybe feel pressure to do, like maybe by your friends, you know. So that's totally wrong. You cannot use emergency fund for such occasion that you can be able to work something out for you to do, you know. So it's not okay to use emergency funds for such kinds of situation. But it's used for situation that where you feel like it's really an emergency thing that you should do. So that's when you can pull something that might. I don't know if I answered you clearly, but you can give me thumbs up. Steven still around. On, did I answer you correctly?
Yeah, that's the answer. And then it definitely mostly, yeah. Actually, most of people are making a mistake when it comes to the emergency fundings. Even though it happen in those people who don't have salary, when and you are still having side hustle, and then even though you are you're also a student, then those
Yeah.
things really happen in emergency way, that in the way that it can stress you a lot. Either you can think that I have to buy my own assets, or maybe I can borrow from somebody else, and then whenever you borrow,
You see there?
I guess he has lost network. You
It has
can
lost
proceed.
network. Okay. So for those who are still supposed to I'll walk you through this app because you're going to do some assignment of which you're going to use this app. So for those who are still around, so this is probably the app that I required you to download yesterday. So it's my money app. So it's used for tracking how you can track your income and also expenses, and also how you can budget. So it's a really a wonderful tool. So I chose this because we oftenly get attached to our phone all the time whenever we move out or in also in workplaces, just anywhere we seems to not leave our phones away. So that's why I chose this. It's going to be a best tool for us to be using. So the interface, it's user friendly, like everything, it's just pretty straightforward. You can see the expenses, you can see. So these are just some of the examples that I just tried to work on, like just a demonstration. This is how when you try to budget. Okay, so you can budget, like you can give it a limit. See here, food. When you look at past budget of food, you could give it a limit. And also in the education, you can also give it a limit. Your telephone, how much airtime you use, maybe per day, or social media. So you can also give it a limit, and also transportation and the bills. Also house, it could be rent, shopping, and health. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. So here you also have account. Like if you're somebody also have different accounts. For instance, if you have a card account, right? Like you can also put that, like you'll keep you put the digits, like how much money is in the card, right? And also here under the cash, you can also give it, also how much you have like the cash money you have. You can also put it there, and also for emergency fund, you can also put it there if it's cash or it is in account. So also you can also put your saving. So this how you can add, like you see the button of add here. That's how you can add the accounts that you have. It depends how many accounts that you have. So that's how you're going to use it. And here, if you see there's the categories, these categories, it depends like on how expenses are. Like it gives you the full details of the income categories that you have. Like for instance, if there are hours that you receive, like if you maybe lottery, for those I don't know how to do bettings, and also if you had a rental, how your salary, you see. So that's much about the income. So when you also look here, there's expense category for somebody like for families, you could have expenses for the babies, and for women, beauty, like all the stuff, makeup, and a lot of things. So that's actually how it looks. So it depends on how your expenses look. So you'll choose from there. So here it gives you the analysis now of everything, like about the income that you spend monthly. So that's how you will go about that. And after, because I will require you're going to use these apps for 6 days. It's starting from tomorrow. Let me say from from Monday rather, from Monday till Friday. That's a duration of 5 days, right? So I wanted to track for that 5 days. So you're going to submit on Saturday next week. So because you're going to give me the full expenditure of how you've been tracking your expenses. So you're going to send me the spreadsheet of it. So everything will be recorded here. You see on my left hand, you will see records. So when you click on it, that's where you will see the record of everything. And if you go up, you see those three bars up on the left. So when you click on it, you will see export the record. The records. Okay. So this way you will export now. You click on the export, and then where you choose where to export this, whether in a spreadsheet, whether on like Microsoft, Google Docs, because I want you to use Google Docs, not Microsoft or PowerPoint. So you will pretty use this. So I think that's how I just want to walk you through this application. And for those who might be using those who might be using Android, iPhones, I also shared the link, and I hope your interface might look different. But after all, at the end of the day, I just want the record that you've been able to track like the expenses that you had along this five days from Monday till Friday. So I'm going to share later the assignment with you and everything. So, and also the slide for today's session. So thank you. That's pretty much about it. And yeah, if I think we are past time. We just have to. Yeah, over to you, Brenda. So if there are more questions, so we can also have them, and we call it a day. Thank you.
Samuel, I think there are no further. In fact, there are only Teresa and Nancy are on the call, so you will need to do a lot in terms of providing guidance on the last part of the assignment. Thanks, Teresa and Nancy, for staying all the through, and I wish you both a good evening, and some to other good evening as well. Good thing I've recorded until you did the assignment, so you can feel free to. They can go back to the class and be able to get the presentation of. Right.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining and also for being after this far. I know we have really gone far beyond time, but